I hail everybody. How na day? I hope so na day okay. I welcome you to another episode of Sew Am Yourself, where we dey teach ourselves how to sew and everything wey dey related to fashion and style. So for today's episode, we wan make this fine bra wey dey for the screen so, and this fine bra now we wan make so. So if una ready, make we start. The first thing wey we go need to do na to outline the basic measurements wey we need for this pattern. The measurements wey we need na the shoulder measurement, we need the bust measurement, we need the under bust measurements, we need the waist measurements, and if your own go long, if you go reach the hip, you go also need the hip measurements. Not forgetting also, we also need the bust span measurements. Those are the round measurements where we need. The vertical measurements where we need now the shoulder to the bust line, the shoulder to the under bust, and the shoulder to the waistline, the shoulder to the hip line, depending on where your own one reach. If your own go reach the hip, the waistline, shoulder to the waistline. Thereafter, we can divide the shoulder by 2. The shoulder now 14 divided by 2 now 7. So 7 day here, we mark 7. We can mark the neck points, connect them with straight ruler to the neck points. After we come down by 1 inch. Thereafter, we find the upper chest line. So the upper chest line, we can divide them into 2. We use them from here, mark the bust point. So we connect them by going inside by ½ inch to accommodate the bust, and then we connect them to the shoulder point for here. Thereafter, we can mark our bust that line. So the dart line now the bust span measurement divided by 2. The bust span measurement now 8 divided by 2, 7. So we impute 7 here. So now we did for this pattern. The next thing we want to do now to come for this bust line, we go find the radius of the bust. The radius of the bust for this pattern now 3 inches from this bust line to the under bust. So we come up by from here by 3 inches. After coming up here by 3 inches, we come, you know, say this that's now 4 inches. So we go come in here by 1 more inch. That means from here to here, it will be 5 inches. So now 5 inches that now we take for this upper chest line where the radius of the bust end from here to here. So the next thing we want to do now to create the curves. To create the curves, we will just come the under bust line. We will take 1 inch for both sides. So from here, I will take 1 inch, and from here, I will also take 1 inch. After taking 1 inch from both sides, I will connect them to the 1 inch where I come down from the bust line. So I will just connect them like this. You use your straight ruler or if you use curved ruler if you like. Any one way you prefer, na your choice. So we don't connect them. The next thing what we go do, we go come for the center front here. We go up by, so we go come for the center front here. We go up by 2 inches. So 2 inches is okay to go up from here for the center line. Or if you like, if you go up by 3 inches, it's all dependent on you. Then you will come for this center front, take ½ inch, mark ½ inch from the center front. So use your ruler, take ruler. So this now the bust separation. Remember, say the center front go dey unfold. So the next thing we go do now, we'll connect from this under bust to this point. So we don't connect to the under bust to that point now. We don't get that measurement. The next thing we want to do now, we'll come for this side. We will mark the bust radius. We will just add ½ inch or 1 inch. So it depends on you, on how full where you covered, where you want to make your bra be there. So I don't put my own measurement there. So just insert whatever measurement where you get. So I don't put on. The next thing we will go do, we will connect from this bust measurement. We will connect to this point here. So this point here, make I connect them to the bust line. So I hope so now remember. So we come up from this the bust radius. Now we mark here. That is the distance between the bust line and under bust. Now be here. But instead of coming out by 4 inch from the center front, we come out by 5 inch. So the next thing we want to do now to curve out the cup. See, even though this side no need for this cup because we will cut them together. So now only this other side now we go curve. So just use your curved ruler, connect them like so. The next thing what we want to do now, we go from this point, we go mark from here, from the distance between this place and here now 2 inches. So I go just come up from here, I go mark the same 2 inches here. Then I go use my curved ruler, connect them to this line here. See, so we don't connect them, our cup don't set with that. So the next thing we want to do now to just insert our measurements. So to insert the measurements, the bust line, the bust measurement now 9 inches. 8.5 inches. So 8.5 day here plus sewing allowance of 1 inch. So 10 inches dey here. Then we go come for the under bust. We go insert the under bust measurement 7.5 inches plus the 2 inch dart 9.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance 10.5. So we go come for the waistline also. The waistline we go rule am. So like I say, this pattern they totally dependent on you. You want to make your own stop for the bust line, you are free. You want to make it go the waist, you are free also. So the next thing we want to do now is just to cut out our pattern. So this portion no dey included though. Now just from here. So the place where we dey cut now from this point, this from here. Then we dey cut. So make we cut now.